Good morning and welcome to the Drag and Drive News presented by Summit Racing for April 29th, 2023. My name is Mike Narks. I run dragandrive.com and a co-founder of the Drag and Drive Addiction Group. Eric, introduce yourself, sir.
I am Eric White. I run 815 LSX Swaps, Motorsports Paparazzi, and your co-host for Drag and Drive News and the Drag and Drive Show.
I'm telling you, dude, we keep you busy, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Let's tell them a little bit where you were yesterday and what you did, and then we're going to jump into maybe one of the biggest news things we've done ever.
Absolutely. So yesterday was our local swap meet. So Jefferson, Wisconsin has probably the world's largest automotive swap meet. So spent, what did I tell you, like
Wow.
6 hours, 20,000 steps walking around looking for deals, and found a couple parts for the Mustang. So overall, it
Yeah.
was a pretty good day.
Yeah, make it more of a street car this time so we can do some drag and drive racing.
That's the goal.
Yeah, perfect. Well, dude, if you're watching this, hit the share button right now. We're going to ask you to do that a couple times during this episode as well. Today, we're going to dive deep into the points series for the 2023 Drag and Drive World Champion presented by Summit Racing. And I'm telling you, I'm pumped about this. We've been working on this for a very long time. A little bit of housekeeping. We will circle back to your comments from the chat at the end of the presentation, or I don't know what you call this thing, but we're going to circle back at the end of that. So we're not going to post any of those up on the screen during the tabs and all that kind of stuff that we will have open, but we will talk about what you talk about in the chat. Eric is going to be behind the screen while I go through all of these points and topics and be highlighting all of the comments that we want to circle back around to. There's going to be a ton of information that you guys are going to get. So as you think of a question, make sure you put it in the chat so we will then have it at the end of this little setup here, and we can discuss it maybe in detail if I have the answer. And if not, hey, we're going to figure it out as we go. All right.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
Let's
I will
do it.
disappear.
Thanks, dude. All right, guys, let's get this overlay off the screen so we can get everything going here. All right. Welcome to the presentation of the Drag and Drive World Champion Point Series presented by Summit Racing. This is a first in the sport of drag and drive racing. This award is going to change how everyone approaches this form of motorsports. We are looking for the best performing racer within the drag and drive community. The Drag and Drive World Champion will be a racer that finishes events, wins classes, and sets records. When I said that, who came to your mind? Put it in the chat, tell us. All right, Summit Racing is a leading supporter of the community. They were heavily involved in coming up with this rule set and point structure. And so we also reached out to many racers and promoters for feedback on this and took all of that into account for everything that we did. I want to first thank Lonnie Tibbs, who came to us with this idea. We have been working on something big for everyone, and he's the one that put this over the top and set this whole thing in motion here. So a couple things we want to talk about. We're going to be sharing the rules on the screen, so get your phone ready for screenshots so you can look at this stuff later as well. I will also be sharing this across Facebook in a single post that is most likely, or it is going up at 8:30 a.m. Central Time, so 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and it will be shared to the dragandrive.com Facebook page. A few things we want to talk about. We've talked about a little bit earlier, a few weeks ago, rules for national events. These are what will qualify as events for the Drag and Drive World Champion. They will follow a format requiring racers to make an eighth or quarter mile pass, drive the required minimum mileage, and make an eighth or quarter mile pass again until scheduled racing is complete. So you've got to do that. You've got to drive between your race days. You have a minimum of 1 time slip per day of racing required. You have a minimum of 4 days scheduled competition. We understand if rain out days happens, we will take those from the promoter. And the competition is defined as the time between driver's meeting and the award ceremony. A minimum of 625 public road miles driven during the event. No support vehicles allowed for the racers while they're in your drag and drive event. And the racer ETs have to be calculated to determine racer averages. Racer averages then determine the standings and class wins. Okay, so that is what constitutes a national level drag and drive event for what we are going to track. The Drag and Drive World Champion event eligibility is one step past that. A Drag and Drive World Champion Point Series eligible event must meet the minimum national event rules plus these. You have a minimum day one registered car count of 150 vehicles. They need to submit the final event results to Drag and Drive Addiction or make the results public. I have to be able to find them to calculate this stuff. The event must begin no earlier than January 1st and end no later than December 1st of the current calendar year. So if we are doing a 2023 Drag and Drive World Champion, we need to have that done by December 1st. So I have plenty of time to do the calculations as we do the award show at PRI 2023, same for 2024. Currently, the list of national events includes Sick Week, Summit Racing Midwest Drags, Rocky Mountain Race Week, Hot Rod Drag Week, Race Week, also known as Rocky Mountain 2.0, Street Week in Sweden, and Miles of Mayhem. Then you also have Southeast Street and Yeet Spring 2023. There's also rumor of a Fall 2023 event. Unfortunately, Southeast Street and Yeet Spring 2023 did not meet the minimum car count, so those results will not count towards the World Champion. We'll talk about the others in a minute. Australian events, the Drag Challenge 2022/2023, which was actually held in January of 2023, is also sadly ineligible because of car count. There are inaugural national events for 2023. You have Redwood Rally, BC Drag It Challenge, which is an 8th mile event. You have Death Week, Six Summer, Delta Street Week, which is an 8th mile event. Drag Challenge and Redwood Rally ETs from their 8th mile race day will be calculated using the WallaceRacing.com 8th to quarter mile calculator. I know it's not perfect. I know it's an NA or naturally aspirated calculator, but that's what we're going to use because it is the same for everyone. So as we go through and manipulate that data, I will use the WallaceRacing.com 8th to quarter form. Guys, again, as a reminder, we're going to put up your chat comments at the end of this at the end of this presentation. So please be making your comments as you have questions. We will dive deep into some of this stuff if you guys have questions about it. The Drag and Drive World Champion point structure. This is information that we have not released yet. This is brand new to your ears. No one has seen this but about a group of 10 people. So let's get down to it. Obviously, the event must meet all of the rules from the above. Points are awarded from the racer's top 3 national events only. So you can't just attend more events than anyone and win this. Racer may only use one 8th mile national event for their scoring. So you still have to compete quarter mile times for at least 2 of your 3 events. When you pass tech, you receive 1 point. For each day a pass is submitted, you receive 5 points with a max of 15. Because all of the events have at least 3 days. When you complete the event and turn in your last time slip, you are awarded 10 points, giving you a total of 26 points for the event completion. So if you finish, you get 26 points no matter what. If you win your class at a national level drag and drive event, you get 7 points. Runner up receives 5 points, and third is 3 points. Again, these are within your class. This is where it gets a little tricky, and being a faster car earns you more points because it is theoretically harder. If you are a 9-second car or you are in an 8th mile event and you are a 6-second car, you'll receive 1 additional point for your average. If your average is in the 9 or 6-second for 8th mile, you'll receive 1 point. If your average is within the 8-second range in a quarter mile event or a 550 to 599, In an 8th mile event, you will receive 2 bonus points. For a 7-second quarter mile average or a 5:0 to 5:49 8th mile event average, you will receive 3 additional points. And for the 6-second cars in the quarter mile or a 4-second 8th mile car at your event, you will receive 4 additional points. Another level of bonus points, because we had to have the ability to push forward for guys that maybe weren't as fast. If you lower your class record at your event, okay, and I'll explain how this worked in a moment with Aaron Schaefer. So per the event class, you will receive an additional point. But in an inaugural event, every person that finishes technically sets the class record. So those events do not qualify. If you increase the class average speed with your finish, you will receive an additional point. And again, inaugural events and class, an inaugural event or inaugural class does not qualify. In the events of a points tie, the Drag and Drive World Champion will be awarded to the faster average racer. The reason we are not including, if you lower the class record and increase the class average speed, that will typically be done by the winner and will only be awarded to one racer per class. So if you are third and still beat it, you didn't set the record because you're not the fastest. So if you reset the record in those 2 aspects, either lowering the class average or increasing the class average speed, you will receive the points. That also means from promoters, I will be needing the average speed provided. If your promoter does not provide that, I will ask for it. If they do not provide it to me from there, that is between you and them. This will be awarded as part of the Drag and Drive Racer Awards presented by Summit Racing at PRI 2023. There will be many other awards within this same event. And if you are someone that would like to be involved in that, please reach out. We have, the racer lists. We have tons of great Spirit of Drag and Drive awards, all that kind of stuff planned. So if you want to be doing that, we are also working on something for the cars that are 10-0 and slower to receive additional points other than just class wins, and how they can actually grow into that. This will be for a separate award. And we're working on something for the regional events as well. So there won't just be this world champion is the only thing that's coming, is what I'm telling you. This is important because of events like Southeast Street Meet and Drag Challenge. If your event that you attend does not meet the minimum for the Drag and Drive World Champion, those racers will still populate the Drag and Drive racer lists, also presented by Summit Racing, on draganddrive.com. Right now, you can find all of those lists right on the front page. Scroll down a little bit, it'll show you the top 100, and then every other list is down below. So we'll still be running our list as normal. This World Champion is just that next level. All right, Eric, you want to jump back in and let's go from there. I feel like we got that out of the way. All right, dude. Were there any comments? I didn't even see. I know you were keeping them out, but
when you asked who came to mind, Adam Dory said Jason Hurley.
Yeah, so I tagged Jason in a Rocky Mountain Race Weekers Facebook group last night. Let's talk about this shot that's here right now. These are your current leaders. You can find these at draganddrive.com. I've added the web page, or I've added the world champion points to the website. So currently it is Alex Taylor, Michael Westberg, and Brett LaSala. All racers have a 6-second average at Sick Week. All racers won their class, and all racers reset records and mile per hour for their class. Now, that is important as we go into inaugural events because, again, you can't get those 2 additional points at inaugural events. You will be able to get all of the other points though. And then second place, or technically fourth, I guess. I don't know. We're still so early in the season that this, the all this stuff is just fun right now. Doc McIntyre, Jeff McConnell, and the C-Red Camaro, 38 points for those guys. And then behind them is Aaron Schaefer, who I said we would talk about earlier because he reset the class record at Sick Week. And then obviously Jordan Tuck, who ran a 4-second average 8th mile ET, but that class had not been available at Sick Week last year, so they technically set the record for that class. And moving forward, if someone knocks them off or they reset the record next year, they will get the additional points. So yeah, 37 points for those guys. So the top, 6 cars are within 2 points of each other after one event. So it's going to be interesting. Our next national level event is 6 Summer, and then right behind that is Summit Racing Midwest Drag. So ought to be pretty interesting to see how everybody, how the points structure works moving forward. All right, what's the next? Do we have the screen pulled up for the webpage?
Yep.
All right. Perfect. So you can go to dragondrive.com. Obviously, it's going to pull up on the main homepage, and it will tell for the top 100 is what I've done the point structure for now. I've done it for more, but I haven't added the I Survived a Drag and Drive list yet for to do all of the points and everything like that to the webpage. So you can see all the racers with 39 points, 35 points. What's interesting for a lot of folks is Stefan Gustafsson is technically the second fastest person in Drag and Drive 2023 right now, and he only has 35 points. Well, he didn't reset the record, and so he didn't set the class record. And then with 7 points going to Michael Westberg and 5 points going to Stefan, that's the difference in the 4 points. So you can see that's why we said earlier, racers that reset records, racers that are consistent, racers that finish events, all that kind of stuff. So those guys are definitely doing it. We will also include Street Week, which I think both of those guys are participating in. So I'm really excited about this whole next level of what we can take the Drag and Drive community to. And then I see Rodney here. Classes are from each event, not a set list of classes. That's right, because we didn't want within each event there is a set. People will have their own set of rules, and that's why we have it set per each event, as compared to a resetting the class record for the 850 class, let's say like Aaron Schaefer did. And then do you need to run 1 8th mile track? You do not have to run 1 8th mile track. It is, you can do all 3 quarter-mile tracks. That's fine with all 3 quarter-mile events. But if you are an 8th mile only racer, you will need to change your car up and go to 2 quarter-mile events. Yes, inaugural events do need to be more than 150 car count. This will eliminate someone from throwing together an event, go out, everybody make their own class, and then set their own records. So we're gonna keep from doing that and get that easy class win. So a lot of it will come into strategy with the events you're choosing and the car count within that event, and then also it will help racers promote the events they're attending, because they need at least 150 car count to get to each event. So do the points accumulate for the driver or the driver and vehicle? Can the same driver use different vehicles at different events? Yes, it is a racer based platform. We are awarding the Drag and Drive Racer. So if you have a Plan B car, you still came out and you still competed. So your Plan B car needs to be very, very happy. Yep, Denny, that's why we allowed it to be an 8th mile event, and there's no reason anyone can't attend 3 quarter-mile events. There are 12 of them this year. So this is pretty exciting. This is a huge, I don't know, I don't want to say bump for the sport, but it really is. This is an opportunity for a lot of racers that have the ability to go out and win. We looked at all the racers from 2022, all the racers from 2021, who would have done this amount of points, who would have done this amount of points. And we really created the point structure to come into all of the to attend all the events that you are possible to do and get all the points you can, but also not run away with it just by attending more events. Ken White here, but do you ever stop and rest? No, I do not. That is not in my. Who would have won last year in this format? It would have been Glenn Hunter, and we'll be releasing all of those point structures and everything like that. That's why he is on the thing here. We actually started with Cletus thinking he would have won it because he was the only racer to go 3 events in the sevens, but Glenn's class wins and Glenn's class wins actually put him over what Cletus would have been by 2 points. And then Steve or Matt and Jerry Sweet would have actually come in third, 1 point behind Cletus. So an NA 890 car had a really good opportunity to win it. They could have probably actually won it if they had won their if they had won sick week in their class, they most likely would have won the 2022 points. So, Jay, I'll send you all the point structure and the format and all that kind of stuff. This right here, how many points? Glenn Hunter had 105 or 103, and then Cletus had 101, and I think Jerry and Matt had 100 right at it. Hey, thanks for saying this right here. Initially, looks like you guys got it right. Very exciting. It is really exciting. If this has been a lot of stress for a long time. We've been working on this since well before PRI with Summit and racers and Lonnie. And there's been a lot of people look at this, a lot of back and forth. And again, guys, this is the first year. If we get something wrong, these are the rules set for 2023. We will look at these again between PRI and the end of the year so we know what events will count, which events will be eligible for 2024, and then also maybe there needs to be a point change or something like that. So well, the struggle with doing all 8th mile events is that it is easier on the car, and so we wanted to make it harder on the car. Plus, the national level event for the world champion needs to be put on the big stage, and the big stage currently is quarter mile racing. I bet Cameron collected some points last year, even though it was slower than those. Yes, Cameron Thorpe is who I'm assuming who he's talking about, and he was one of the participants that we really looked and dived deep into about what everything or dive deep into how can an 11-second car also be very competitive for the world champion. And sadly, it just wasn't going to be there for that because we didn't want someone to be able to go purchase a vehicle from the showroom floor, not what Cameron did at all, but go purchase a vehicle from the showroom floor and be able to come out. That's why there are points, additional points beginning at 9 seconds, because you technically can't just go out and buy a 9-second street car. I know there's a few that are available, but typically you're not going to spend that kind of money and come out and race it at a drag and drive event. Those people probably don't even know what drag and drive events are. Yeah. So the Cameron did perform very well, and he is the reason we are looking at a structure that will reward the 10-0 and slower guys, because a lot of those classes, index classes and SME type stuff, are very, very, very competitive, and those racers race just as hard as any of the fast guys. So we are looking at something for them and all of that. Yeah, Andrew Nelson. Yep, built not bought to the front. That's exactly right. So you're going to have to do some kind of work to your car to get there and earn the extra points. Y'all, this has really been a ton of work. We are really excited. Hey, there you go, right there. I know where a 4-second car you can buy, but only need 50K. Hey, that'd be a great way to win a world champion. Just gonna have to string that thing out a little bit in the quarter mile, maybe change some gearing up or something like that. So, well, y'all, thank you very much. We do have one last thing that Eric has been working on that's pretty exciting, and it is a limited run only. So, Eric, why don't you tell them about it real quick?
So we came up with this shirt design from the circuit. One of my ideas was parking lot beers and trailer burnouts. And then you've got your hashtag race car friends. So new shirt on the website now. It runs until May 20th, I believe, is the
May
last
20th.
day.
Yep, we'll input the order then and send them out hopefully by June 1st. That way everybody can have them for the events that they are attending this summer, because that's the other thing. We're not even in the busy season yet, and it took me like 4 hours last night to put together the point structure.
Yep.
I'll come up with some kind of Excel formulas that'll help me with that, but man,
Yep. So this
I like
is
this. Tie breaks to the owner who did the most building. That's right.
so this shirt is available if you go to dragondrive.com
Hmm.
under shop, and it is right down here at the bottom. It is
Yep.
$30 and it is free shipping within the US. So head on over there and pick you up a new merch item.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be awesome to see those shirts out and about. And again, as you scroll up there, if you will, Eric, you'll see all the other stuff that you can do. We have obviously the Unlovable had the front license plate. We've been featuring it the last couple of days. We do still have a few of the I Survived a Dragon Drive 2022 decal, and then shirts and hoodies like we're wearing, and hats and all that kind of stuff. So really excited. The next few weeks and months should be pretty intense. We've got a lot of stuff coming. Um, we're working very, very hard behind the scenes to make the show better, make the news better, get all of the things in line to give you guys the best possible coverage of Dragon Drive events that we can. I mean, I don't know, we've got so much stuff coming. We just brought on Alexandria Garcia, who drives an 8-second Mustang. I mean, how can you not like that? She is and drives that car daily like that. It's literally what Built for Dragon Drive is about. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm headed to a wedding, and we're going to jump off here. I want to say thank you very much for your patience this morning. Please message me, message Eric, message the page. We don't care how you get to us with questions. Make comments in the boxes below, all that kind of stuff about World Champion, and then also what size parking lot beers and trailer burnout shirts you need. All right, guys. See you next time. See you Wednesday night. Man, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have Alexandria on and a couple other guests that we're not releasing yet. We should have that up probably on Monday. I would think we'll have everybody locked in and the time and all that kind of stuff. So,
Yep.
all right,
We'll
guys.
see you
See you soon.
Wednesday night.